Neverwinter Online goes live on Xbox One. Fable Legends claims its free-to-play system won't be evil. All that and more. I'm Zach Sharps, and this is Free to Play Weekly. Daybreak, the company behind H1Z1, the zombie survival MMO that's currently in early access, released a patch this week entitled The Big Damn Patch. Featured in the patch is a new male character model, a revamped dam area, and a few smaller changes such as a 380 caliber pistol, craftable workbenches that allow you to change one ammo type to another, a revised crude map that makes it easier to find friends, and an updated pickup truck interior. I wouldn't really call that patch big, but I did see what they did there with their dam pun. If that patch wasn't large enough for you though, in their April 9th update, Daybreak will add handcuffs and easier grouping, which, as Jason Winter pointed out, sounds like a BDSM movie. Those of you who own an Xbox One and may want to play an MMO on it will be glad to hear that Neverwinter has officially launched on Microsoft's next-gen system. Cryptic Studios and Perfect World Entertainment may have unleashed this free-to-play title on consoles, but for those of you without Xbox Live Gold, you will have to pay for online in order to access Neverwinter. The console version of the game comes with all the updates through the Tyranny of Dragons update, which includes the Scourge Warlock class, and as you may assume, the console version will feature optimized controls that, in my opinion, look quite suitable for the console environment. I can't say whether or not I'll ever try it out myself on consoles, but it's certainly great to see the Xbox One getting some MMO love. My.com's free-to-play MMORPG Skyforge set out its groundwork for their Western open beta this week. With no exact beta date announced, the Allods team and Obsidian Entertainment have at least told us a seasonal ballpark of when to expect it. Skyforge is expected to be an open beta summer of this year, so for those of you wanting access to the title without having to pay, you'll be getting your shot soon. Those of you who did pay or are lucky enough to get a key in order to get into the closed beta, you'll be able to look forward to a few more rounds of beta testing, and there will be an increased rate of beta keys being sent out. I personally had fun in Skyforge, and I'm looking forward to its official release, but I would like to see the Allods team and Obsidian focus more on the combat. It just felt a little bit weightless to me, but hey, it's closed beta, so things can change. Lionhead's own game director David Eichelberry spoke with Games Industry International this week about their upcoming free-to-play title, Fable Legends. During this conversation, they spoke mainly about the payment model, where Eichelberry stated in order to avoid the perception of pay to win, everything that affects gameplay can be earned from the treasure chest or buying it using silver in town. Later, Eichelberry stated the following about the free-to-play model in general. It's a model that is a weapon in some sense. A weapon could be used for good, and a weapon could be used for evil. We wanted to be sure that the world knew that we weren't doing this for the reasons of a business model. Overall, it sounds as if Lionhead is looking to follow the general MOBA model for pay for convenience, but everything of course would be able to be bought over time by players, except for skins. Those are always locked behind a paywall, and I'm fine with that. But in regards to free-to-play as a whole, it is time for the question of the week. Last week on the show, I asked what foreign title you're most anticipating and why. A user by the name of, and I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Sasaki Hayes, said the following: Puria Chronicles. The level of creativity allowed in the game is pretty top notch and allows for player-created minigames, cutscenes, emotes, etc., etc. How towns evolve and change with the number of players in them is also very unique, in that if there is no players in town for a certain period of time, the town will slowly begin to fade away, which ensures there are no ghost towns and might make for some very funny stories. Thanks for your response as always, and if you want your comment possibly featured in next week's episode, make sure to leave your comment down below. This week's question is, with Lionhead Studios game director calling a payment model a weapon, what would your ideal weapon, aka payment model, look like? I'm interested in hearing your guys' thoughts because personally I would love a system that embraces cosmetics, a tad bit of pay for convenience, but also allows you to strip away the item wall completely by paying a subscription. Would be kind of the best of both worlds deal, but likely it will never happen, but that's not the point.
No.
I'm assuming most of you guys out there like a dynamic world and you want your MMO to feel as alive as possible, and it seems as this EST Soft is looking to ensure the world of Cabal 2 is just that, dynamic. How dynamic, you might ask? Well, in their feature spotlight they showed off Abysmos, which come in two colors, red and blue, and each color represents an intensity, normal and hyper. If you open a red Abysmal core, mobs will spawn right on the map in increasing waves. If you open a blue Abysmal core, however, a portal will spawn for you and your party to enter. Think of this as a mini dungeon in some sense. Since they require a party, they will be more challenging than their red counterparts, but the hyper versions of both colors ramp up the difficulty even further. Once your Abysmal core is taken down, you get extra loot and Abysmos points, which predictably will be able to purchase goods and increase damage or modify existing skills. I always believe that the more dynamic your world is, the better, and even though this may not be super dynamic and may even end up being static with its placements, it's still really cool to see extra features thrown into the mix to shake things up a bit. Well guys, that is it for the news this week. Short news week, I know, but hey, at least we might have some giveaways up on MMOBomb.com for you to dig into. As always, in regards to those sexy giveaways, make sure to bookmark the page, check it daily, because you don't ever want to miss one. Missing out on free keys is never a good time. As for myself, my name is Zach Sharp, signing off until next week's Free to Play Weekly. I will catch you guys next time.